Sorry, Tom. One moment. I've just got a thing on my head that I've been wondering. Are you into jazz?
No.
No, you should just say so.
No.
I've realised jazz is the Marmite of music because it seems like everyone either really, really loves a bit of smooth jazz or can't stand it. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I think like metal, for example, is very much like a curry. That it's still it's still good, but not everyone's going to like it. Especially children to start with, they're not going to enjoy that at all because of the spiciness. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get a lot of pop, which is getting fast food. It's like easy to digest, but it's not necessarily good for you, really. Living you actually have too much of it.
Maybe you can. Maybe next one. I can see it now. Vulgarithm 2024 with Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
The Christmas sci-fi. You just get all of the Christmas greats into one big track.
that'd be amazing.
I don't know if I'd love it or hate it. I think there's only so much Christmas I can take in one go. 2023 has been a pretty strong year, so I'm hoping Christmas can have a nice send-off into 2025.
Into 2025.
Or
I mean, we could skip a whole year. That'd be cool. And have everybody have a year off.
Hello, and welcome to episode 59 of the Uncensored Podcast. I'm Riley, and here's my co-host.
And I'm Tom, and as per usual, we're joined by a special guest, aren't we, Riley? I'll let you introduce him today.
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. I'm honoured to do today's announcement. We are joined by the wonderful Vulgarithm. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, really good. Busy working day, but nice, relaxing, and happy to join you for an awesome interview.
Amazing. So, I guess.
Good to hear. So, I would like to kick it straight off here with a nice little question of what inspired Vulgarism to start making music?
I've been in bands before, and I've enjoyed being in those bands before, and I've also done solo projects before. But I thought I just wanted to do something different, but also more importantly, something visually different as well. So, and then just as the usual stories at the moment, just as these ideas come around, the lockdown and pandemic comes around. So that gives me time to kind of experiment, refine, and just kind of figure out the kind of things I want to do. I kind of had a half vision in my head that there was going to be projections and costumes, and there wasn't an actual full idea. But yeah, eventually, yeah, found the look, found the sound, and here we are.
Amazing. And what made you, just to quickly take on to that, what made you decide that Vulgarithm was the name to run with?
It was a brainstorm in my head as I was driving to work. I was just kind of half thinking of things, what could kind of fit in with this style of music. I kind of half had an idea what was going to happen. And it just popped in, literally just popped in.
Fair enough. Sometimes the way the best creations come to fruition. Sorry, Tom.
Sorry?
I don't know if I was breaking up or not. I believe it. I might break up all the time tonight. It's my internet issues, but it's always good to hear that like some like band names or artist names just come like straight out of nowhere. Constantly like brainstorming, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll since Tom is a bit crackly, I want to just I want to just bang in a question that I don't usually ask because it's very much tailored to this episode. But obviously, Strawberry Fair this year, you were there because that's where we found you. We saw you. How was that as an experience for you?
Wonderful. I love playing there. I had my first chance of playing there with the Cambridge Band Competition for 22, which I got to the final for. Trying to remember who won it that year. But yeah, all the finalists for that one, they all got a chance to play at the on the center stage for that one. And then I went for it for 23 as well. Didn't get through my round that particular year, but I was invited back because, well, they have, yeah, everyone seemed to like me the year before, so I just got invited back again. And well, hopefully I'll be there next year too. So fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Undeniable, you've definitely got a very unique sound. Like it's a very cool fusion that you've pulled off, and like it's got such good live energy as well. Like just like a lot of the songs in your set, they felt like they were made to be performed live.
Yeah. So and yeah, I'd like to. I've been influenced by all kinds of things, and the ultimate thing was what makes me bounce the most on a night out. And usually, it's either going to a metal gig, moshing away, or some dirty dance club at like 2 o'clock in the morning somewhere else. And I thought, let's try and get some sort of amalgamation of the two together. And yeah, again, it's all about just kind of engaging as much on a crowd situation like that as possible, just getting people having a real good time with it. So
yeah, no, definitely, it definitely comes through like that, Randy. Like in the actual like when we were at Strawberry Fair, it was a brilliant time. Like it was just an energetic set.
yeah, thanks. I mean, the ultimate dream for that one. I mean, because the daytime and the quick changeover. Because again, usually when I do gigs in the evening,
Yeah,
it tends to be with I'd have projections and screens and other bits of others. It's quite difficult on a kind of festival stage, so I kind of have to kind of improvise in that sense. But no, yeah, they still respond though, which is good. So again, yeah, thoroughly enjoyable.
yeah.
I seem to think that as well. So, are there any bands or artists that you think have inspired you to like obviously start making music, like inspired Vulgarism to make music?
So I've been influenced by a huge amount of variety of different bands. So with bands before, it's always been whether it be like the 90s kind of grunge scene, or kind of the early 2000s kind of metal scene as well. With one of my solo projects, I was heavily influenced by Nine Inch Nails, Tool as well. Anything Maynard James Keenan does for like Tool and A Perfect Circle, that kind of thing. But specifically Vulgarithm, I was just looking for anything, again, just things that get crowds instantly moving like that. So whether it be just your kind of bouncing new metal riffs of like from 98 to 2005 onwards. We can also throw Skin Dread into that equation as well, even though not really technically new metal. And then just anything like from the 90s, like Chemical Brothers, Fatboy Slim, Faithless, those kind of huge kind of anthemic crowd pleasers that just instantly get people going. It was just, yeah, it's just anything that was just a kind of gets people going, regardless if they know what the words are.
Yeah. Yeah,
and having a good catchy melody over the top of that is always then a bonus. As long as the music itself is good first and foremost, and then everyone's enjoying themselves, regardless if they actually like the melody or not.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at Strawberry Fair, I'll admit, I and Tom as well. I hadn't heard of you beforehand, but like I walked away knowing exactly who Vulgarithm was, and like it was like at the end, like by the end of each song, like you felt like you did know the lyrics. Because I mean, personally, my favorite Vulgarithm song from the start has been Fist, because that one made it to the workout playlist. It's just it's got a brilliant energy to it. I love it. But slightly, you touched on it a moment ago. But are there any artists that don't necessarily inspire like the music of Vulgarism, but that you do enjoy elsewhere?
So yeah, I mean, so my biggest influence has been Nine Inch Nails, but I like to really stress that the vulgar in the music, because sometimes it's very easy because they go, oh, it's guitars, oh, it's got electronic stuff, oh, therefore it's industrial metal. When in reality, it's nothing like industrial, and it's nothing like Nine Inch Nails, really. Even though there's maybe some little tweaks in there. Again, things like Tool or Rage Against the Machine. Again, anything kind of big riff based. But again, it's just like influenced from basically a whole range of eras, whether it be from 60s stuff as like Beatles and then Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, all the way through to 90s indie like Blur and Oasis, that kind of thing. Throwing in some Muse as well in there. Just a huge variety of different things, even classical music as well. So
yeah, this has actually got me thinking. Sorry, Tom, one moment. I've just got a thing on my head that I've been wondering. Are you into jazz?
no.
No, you would just say so.
No.
I've realised jazz is the Marmite of music because it seems like everyone either really, really loves a bit of smooth jazz or can't stand it.
As someone who studied music at university, and then also because my kind of day job is also teaching the guitar and kind of being involved in music as well in different schools and stuff. I appreciate the musicianship, but I just, for the love of God, just can't stand the music at all. Well, again, it depends. If it's kind of laid back, you're like sat on if it's one of those kind of diner settings, then I can kind of go with it. But when it's just all over the place for the sake of going all over the place, it just kind of I can't get into it.
Yeah, so right when it matches the vibe of the evening.
Again, I feel like a lot of music can be, you can just kind of put it off in terms of like food as well.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I think like metal, for example, is very much like a curry that it's still it's still good, but not everyone's going to like it, especially children to start with. They're not going to enjoy that at all because of the spiciness. Yeah. You get a lot of pop, which is again fast food. It's like easy to digest, but it's not necessarily good for you, really. Living you actually have too much of it. Yeah, I think jazz again is one of those ones where you get like fancy Michelin star foods, and it's just too much going on, overpriced, pretentious. But you still have to appreciate the effort and the actual skill that actually goes into it.
Yeah.
So
that's a pretty good analogy, actually.
Completely agree with that. I was thinking that that's the best way I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, leading on, if I'm still, I'm cutting out again. I think
You are a bit.
lovely. Yeah, I feel that like what you were describing music as is like one of the best ways to describe it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on from that, I'm just going to start asking a lovely little questions, just see what your kind of favourite things. So, any venues that you've played at that you just like, say, like fallen in love with, that you've taken a liking to?
Yeah. So the Junction was great, and again the Portland Arms. So I don't get to play Cambridge often, but I like those two venues. I most recently played Corporation, where a friend of mine who kind of helped us out with the old band I was in. He was in a Ghost tribute band, so I kind of helped out with that one. Yeah, so that's a nice little venue as well. Trying to think of other places now. But even like little places like Tap and Tumbler in Nottingham, again, that's always got a good vibe, no matter what band's playing. Can be a bit tricky for me on that place just because there's always a big neon sign of Tap and Tumbler, which makes it quite tricky for like visuals and stuff. But no, yeah. I mean, yeah, as long as the crowd are getting into it and it sounds good, then any venue is always enjoyable. It's just yeah, there have been times when I've been there and there's been like no one there. But the actual quality of the venue is still pretty good, and you can't fault the venue. But yeah, it's all about the vibe of the night, really. It kind of sticks with you the most.
That's fair. And in a similar vein, are there any venues you haven't played that like are really on your bucket list to play if you get the chance to?
Any academy venue, I think, for me. I did years and years and years ago with one of my first bands, Black Hawk Down. We did a unsigned competition, and that took us to the O2 Academy in Birmingham as a semi-final. Now, the day itself, the sound wasn't brilliant because I think personally the sound man probably wasn't used to actually the venue itself, and my amp wasn't the mic next to my amp wasn't working, so I had to turn up myself and I could only hear myself. But the experience of being on that stage, though, I'd love to have that again.
Yeah.
As Vulgarithm, and kind of being able to kind of put up screens all over the place and really make it a real visual kind of experience. And
yeah, like really make it like a production out of it.
Yeah. Even if it's still just me with the other bits and bobs, because again, a big part of the live stuff that I do is all about what's going on behind me, whether it be on a kind of small TV screen, if it's in a pub, or a large projector, what's going on as well. So definitely.
Wicked. Just waiting to see if Tom's here.
Yeah, I believe I'm still here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not cracking up a little bit.
You're having a rough internet day today.
Yeah.
My dogs are just fighting in the background.
Okay.
We're all good.
I'm not all with today. I'm not with today. So, have you got any upcoming music?
Today,
us here at UNCNTRD love it in music.
Yeah, so today I've literally released a Christmas song on YouTube.
I haven't actually checked that one out. Yeah.
It turned up about around 5 o'clock today.
Oh wow!
At some point, it will come out. It'll be on Spotify and your usual streaming sites in about a week's time. So I think it's maybe the 14th. I think I've got it 14th or 15th. But yeah, it's on YouTube at the moment. It's a little bit unconventional, but yes, yeah. So there is a Christmas song available for listening to.
Yeah, as of recording, no more than 3 hours old.
Yes.
Go check that out. We'll link that one in the description because by the time this comes out, it'll be very close to Christmas. So,
cool.
Yeah, new addition to your Christmas playlist right there.
Hopefully next year you'll be playing Vulgarithm, where it'll be overplayed and you'll get really annoyed by it.
Yeah, Vulgarithm.
Christmas #1.
Yeah. Maybe you can. Maybe next one. I can see it now. Vulgarithm 2024 with Mariah Carey. The Christmas cipher. You just get all of the Christmas greats into one big track.
That'd be amazing.
I don't know if I'd love it or hate it. I think there's only so much Christmas I can take in one go.
No, I mean that's why Whamageddon and Mariah Carey-geddon exists. Really, I guess it does get overplayed far too soon, to be fair. But
yeah, I'm actually winning Whamageddon so far this year. I'm yet to get whammed. I think this is the furthest I've ever made.
Same.
So 2 years ago, I actually didn't hear it at all.
Oh wow!
It was incredible. But last year, it was subconscious. Because I didn't realise until I got home and I was cooking and I was whistling. I thought, fuck, why am I whistling this? And then I realised, shit, I'd just been in Tesco's and been playing, but I hadn't realised. So it subconsciously went in.
Oh, that's awful. I haven't actually, now I'm thinking of it, heard many Christmas songs so far this December. I don't know what it is. Every year feels a bit less Christmassy.
It could be financial stuff for a lot of families, maybe.
True.
Not going out into the shops. Everyone buying things online.
True. And definitely was a part like It's not like I really use the radio, so like
Nah.
they've got Christmas going 24/7. But I need to Christmas up a bit, man. My room's not really. Maybe I'll get some tinsel or something and throw it up.
Still
But
only the 7th. Still only the 7th. You've got loads of time.
that's true. That's true. What? How many? What? 2, 3 weeks till Christmas now?
Yeah.
18 days actually, because I was talking to my maths teacher about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, 18 days till Christmas. I'm looking forward to Christmas this year, actually. I think overall, it's not, I don't want to jinx it because there's still plenty of time. 2023 has been a pretty strong year. So I'm hoping Christmas can have a nice send off into 2025.
Into 2025.
Or,
I mean, we could skip a whole year. That'd be cool. And have everybody have a year off.
yeah.
That'd be nice. And then just start again in 2025.
Yeah, so just blank slate. Think of all the stuff. Just everything shuts down for 2024 and 2025, where everyone can see what people spent a year working on. I reckon that'd be kind of nice. Just a time jump a bit. But well, I've completely been forgetting to look at the question list. But you know what? I'm whacking this one out. So if you had so we're going to ignore any mascot you might have currently. If you could choose a mascot that cannot be a human or an animal, so it's got to be like a tub of paint stripper or a box, what would you have?
Ooh, that is a good question. It'd be a figurine made entirely out of my mask.
Just how big are we talking?
So it'd be full sized. Every you have like, I don't know, about 200 masks or something like that, just kind of going up, one being a leg and then another leg and then a torso. So it'd still be basically, it'd be man shaped, but it'd be all made out of masks.
200 masks.
Be masks around them.
Yeah.
And it'd be very shiny because it's all kind of tinfoily style as well.
So a bloke would he be wearing a mask?
He'd be wearing the glasses, but he wouldn't be wearing a mask because everything's a mask.
Yeah, I think wearing the mask can get a bit too meta at that point.
Mm.
But okay, so life-sized tinfoil-esque mask man with glasses. Honestly, I don't see why it's not already the mascot. I mean, just get a big.
I think cost at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. Get a big tinfoil bloke to jam out to all your latest hits.
Believe me, I have attempted to apply for I don't know, 5-figure sum grants from the Arts Council, but for some reason they won't fund it. We'll keep trying.
Yeah, have you tried telling them the vision about the 200 mask man yet? Because that might make the difference.
I'll start with that one.
Yeah, I'd have to put it at the top of the list.
Yes. I do actually have a question about mask. Do you just have one mask or multiple masks?
It's one mask at the moment, although I have been thinking of getting kind of other masks available to kind of mix up a bit.
Christmas mask.
Yeah. And at some point, the aim would be to have my own masks for sale as well.
That'd be sick. What, with like different varieties of the
different colours? Yeah, different colours. Same sort of glasses, but the colour of the mask will all be different as well.
That would be pretty wicked. And then like at a show, just a sea of Vulgarithm masks.
Exactly.
I'm back in this vision. I think it'd be brilliant. Would they be patterned or just various colours?
Awesome.
There might be different shades within the colours, but it'd be mostly just kind of it's mostly just kind of different colours and shades and stuff as opposed to interesting patterns. I mean, we could try and figure out how to do the patterns. I have to work with someone who I know who has a 3D printer to kind of make it work.
Yeah. I've always wanted to use a 3D printer. It just seems so wicked. can make
It
shoes.
takes a lot of work to kind of get the right shape, but once the right shape's there, you can just kind of just get everything done like that. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's such a futuristic premise, a 3D printer. Like I don't actually like stop and think that the fact it is just like fabrication. Like you're just
Basically, yeah.
literally making something out of like one step up from nothing. It's nuts. But okay. Oh, I'm gonna crack this chestnut. Okay. What three bands would you choose to headline Vulgarithm Fest? Your festival.
See, they've got to be good, but they can't upstage me way too much. So really, we've got to be thinking of three different. Thinking three different bands that kind of really sum up the sound and the vibe of a time. So I would say. So yeah, I'd say pinnacle of dance music in that kind of sense would be like someone like Chemical Brothers would be on the Friday,
Okay.
and then for the big riffs and bounce and crowd kind of interaction, we'd have Skin Dread because again they're just phenomenal lives.
Brilliant, yeah.
And then for the light show and the visuals that go on, which is basically almost just matched by no one, would be Tool.
Fair enough. And so that'd be what your Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Not at all
Sick.
up there.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't actually, as much as I do like Skin Dread, I've not listened to enough of them in depth, I think. I need to go and just spend the day listening to their albums and shit. Because they're one of those bands I know they're good, but I just kind of don't listen to enough.
I mean, this is gonna sound like every other person that suggests bands, but yeah, if you go for their first couple of albums, you get a good vibe of the rawness that they started off with.
Yeah,
and they can just slowly build it. They've never. I think the tricky thing with Skin Dread is however awesome they are live and however many great songs they do have, they have a lot of albums which have filler, so they never have a truly great album. But yeah, definitely. Even if it's just listening to their top 10 on Spotify or something like that, I'm sure you'll kind of get into the groove of it that way.
Yeah. It's just Tom's running on a delay.
I wasn't even talking. I was letting him finish his sentence. So, do you have a personal favourite song of your own?
Yeah, that's a hard one because again, so there's some on my early EPs which again are crowd favorites. There's some of the early EPs which I really like, but aren't necessarily works live.
That you
I think personally for me, just because I really enjoy playing the riff, it's Lad Riff.
Yeah, that is a banger.
Enjoy the riff. It's got a good melody halfway through as well. It's layered, and I can always hear someone singing it whenever I finish the set somewhere.
Yeah, it was probably us. That's probably fair to be honest. But so that's your. Is there anything that would follow it closely?
Possibly again, probably thinking about newer ones actually now. Probably the Influence song.
Yeah,
because again, that's I enjoy the melody with that. It's got a good riff, but again, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers in that song.
Yeah.
If you get some really good speakers, you can actually then hear there's a lot of intricate small guitar parts all over the place too.
Yeah. You actually kind of linking on from this, like while you're naming your favorite songs, do you listen to your own music often, like in your free time?
I do before I've released it. But again, a lot of that time is whether it be seeing if the mix is right, if I'm singing in key, if something needs to change, and then I sometimes then compare it with other things. So then, and then there are times when I listen to it on like your streaming service, Spotify, Amazon, those kind of things. But then that's just again just kind of see how it sounds.
Yeah.
Um, but I just listen to loads of different things. So, but no, yeah, I do from time to time listen to my own stuff. But again, it's just kind of just it's more of a kind of does it still hold up as well? Does my record? Yeah. So if at times like for the very first EP where I like it'll just come on randomly on my phone and just then I go, okay, yes, yeah, I can still hear it. Where still kind of sounds right to me. It's not like I rushed it and then released it and then heard it like a month later and then went, oh, that's shit or something like that. So
that's fair enough. Tom, do you have one more question for this section? In the last few minutes.
The questions, but we've got the good questions that we're trying to save for part 2.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just link this right into part 2 then. The second half with all of what me and Tom deemed the fun questions.
mhm.
So we will see you very shortly. Hello and welcome back to part 2. We're just going to delve right back in with a question. So are there any moments in a film where you would put a song of your own over what was originally there?
Ooh. Oh, that's straight in with a tricky one. That is. Oh, hang on. Gotta think
Yeah,
of
that's the second half.
yeah. Oh, okay. Now I don't know why, but the first thought that came into my head was Fist over the top of the supermarket scene in Hot Fuzz, and I have absolutely no idea why that was the one that just went click. But we'll go for that.
Sick. I can kind of see it,
It would
actually.
fit.
It would fit. Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I love that question. That's one of my creams of the crop. Because I was like, I
That's
like
great. That's a great question. That I may have to think of other ones as well. But yeah, no, we'll go for that one for now.
We
But
always,
yeah,
we've always got interlinking questions, like the one I'm about to ask now. So picture the scene here.
Mhm.
They've decided to make a little biopic about Vulgarism. Which celebrity do you reckon could play you under the mask?
Ooh, it got to be quite a weird one, really. Can't be too obvious. I don't know who would play, but I reckon Tim Burton could make a good Vulgarism film
Tim
and really
Burton.
kind of turn it into some really weird stuff.
I'd be a good director, to be honest.
Yeah, that'd be a good direction to take it.
Yeah, so all right, we'll throw Johnny Depp in there. But again, he'll be behind the mask, so no one will know it'll be him all the way through.
That's right.
So yeah.
It could be anyone, really.
Yeah.
That's the wonder of Vulgarism. Anyone could be under that mask.
Ooh.
Maybe it is Johnny Depp.
Maybe.
You're trying to throw a curveball, but you could never make it past the unsensible. Well, I guess it's time where I get a spot theatric myself. Because we've had a good like hour of fun. And now we're gonna, hammer down on some harder questions. Oh, Tom left. I didn't realize. Yeah, this is where they get a bit trickier.
Okay.
So
Corey's wearing 2 hats.
I am Riley Two Hats, but we're gonna really go on a journey, find really what makes you tick here. So with no further ado, what is the best sandwich?
Best sandwich I've ever had always tends to be chicken with bacon with cheese melted with some barbecue sauce.
Oh,
Although I am vegan now, so now it tends to be fake bacon with fake chicken with fake cheese with barbecue sauce, but it still tastes damn good, especially if you kind of toast it with a baguette.
oh, I love a toasted baguette. Arguably better than the standard bread.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, baguette is probably. Yeah, actually, no, it is baguette over sandwich, I'd say.
Mm.
And then I don't know. I was gonna say a wrap is below the sandwich, but a wrap can be great.
A wrap is good, but it's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's either baguette or just two slices of bread or as many slices of bread. Rolls and paninis are kind of on that cusp, but yeah, it's got to be just between a baguette or normal loaf.
Yeah. Oh, is a panini not just a roll?
That's what I mean. The roll and panini are on that cusp, aren't they? So they're not quite the same as the yeah.
Yeah, they're quite similar. And then wraps are just a whole different breed.
Mm.
But yeah, that is an incredibly valid pick for your sandwich. Yeah, oh, I might try that. I'm still thinking about going vegetarian for January, so maybe I'll try that sandwich if I end up doing it.
Go for it.
Oh god, yeah, it's
Awesome.
That's a good sandwich.
I believe it is. Believe it is a good sandwich. But we are now reaching to the final two questions. I believe, Riley.
I believe so.
Yes. So, with that being said, I will ask my final question. So, are there any bands or artists that you would very much like to tour with in the next couple of years?
You know what? I haven't mentioned them, but they actually would be absolutely ideal. And they also played a big part in terms of the Vulgarism sound, and that would be the Prodigy. Because they're back again. They're back touring again. And some of their live shows have been phenomenal from what I've seen online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to throw Prodigy in there. Possibly Pendulum as well, just because of the vibe of what's going on with the dancey kind of alternative feel. But yeah, definitely Prodigy.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
They are two awesome picks there.
Mm. Yeah, and then I guess I'll just hit with the official uncensored big question. The one that usually ends up dragging for a good few minutes. But you know what? We need the runtime anyway. So I'm going to ask you to make a band. Now, the rules are relatively simple. You can be in the band, but you don't have to be. You can have as many or as few people as you want, as long as you've got the core fundamentals of a singer, a bassist, a drummer, and a guitarist. You can have anyone on any instrument, but they will not magically learn to play that instrument. They can be dead or alive. They will be alive when they perform, unless you specifically request them not to be. And I think that's it. Go nuts.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's so many great singers, man. So many awesome singers. Now, I think instinct for me is going to go for, at least to start with, just the ones that kind of influence me. Like, for example, for a singer, Maynard James Keenan would be up there as a great singer. But in terms of actual singing ability and stuff, we're gonna have to really think about those who are actually been so good that to the point that everyone else is like, yes, that is it. Like where everyone agrees, no matter if they enjoy the music or not, they're an incredible singer. So Freddie Mercury would be a singer because regardless of whether you like Queen or not, he is one of the greatest singers that have ever come out of rock music ever.
Definitely.
So he's going to be singing. Guitarist. Oh, okay. Again. How many guitarists am I allowed?
As many as you want. There's no cap.
Awesome. Okay. Ah. All right. Well, I think Jerry Cantrell and Tom Morello will work quite well together to start with. Some nice little back and forth vibes of nice stuff. And then we'll throw in another guitarist. Why not? Just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Probably Hendrix, just for the again, just the kind of unpredictability about it. So yeah, we have three guitarists like Maiden do, but all three guitarists with a completely vastly different styles.
Yeah.
But all weirdly enough with kind of Fenders, actually, or either Strats or Chellies, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could still blend well in a strange fusion-y way.
I know honorable mentions are people again like Page, Slash, your obvious ones as well, those kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go for those three because again they're a big part for bass. Ooh, okay. Bass. Now, I'm guessing most people say Flea in this question.
Get quite a lot of fleas, yeah.
So we're not going to have Flea in this one. We're going to throw someone else in.
Okay.
Oh. God, I've forgotten his name. But in terms of actual playing ability, the guy from The Who, he was pretty good at the bass.
Oh, what's his name? Let me. I'll have a quick search.
His name now.
The Who bassist.
Yeah, and what's his name from The Who? He's pretty damn good at what he does.
John Entwistle is The Who's bassist, according to Google.
So the bass of a Tool as well. Just kind of ticking through them all. No, you know what? We're going to go for the bass of a Tool actually, because the sheer amount of grooves that he can do is incredible. So yeah, we're going to go for him. Drummer. Again, Danny Carey from Tool is up there. But again, I don't want to have two Tool members in there. I want to mix it up. There's obviously the likes of Joey Jordison was awesome as well. Matt Cameron of Pearl Jam's Soundgarden fame. We've Bonham as well from Led Zeppelin. I'll throw Matt Cameron in for from Pearl Jam and Soundgarden because again, he gets some beautiful. He'll get some nice little grooves going on with everybody in that band. But we need to throw a keyboardist in there as well. I feel it does need. There needs to be a keys player. Needs to be a keys player. So, you know what? We're going to throw Trent Reznor in there as a keys player as well. He'll get some really weird sounds going on to go alongside it.
And is that everyone?
Just trying to think if there's any other instruments to throw in. I mean, again, if we have a choir of just awesome singers. I mean, we can have a back. Yeah, so we can have Freddie Mercury as the main singer, and then a backing collective of singers as well to go along with likes of Maynard James Keenan, Lane Stacey, Mike Patton as well, Serge Tankian, Corey Taylor. I mean, this is a huge number of phenomenal singers. So we'll have them as like a choir in the background as well, with Freddie Mercury leading the way.
Tom, did you get all those?
A couple of them. Obviously, I was in and out of internet issues. I managed to get.
Sick. Well, we can watch it back anyway for any that you missed. But so are we certain this is the final band?
We'll throw in an orchestra too.
Okay.
Don't know who's going to be playing in that orchestra, but there'll be an orchestra there as well, just to kind of bring out the sound. But it can be the orchestra will be arranged by Beethoven. He'll arrange the music and bring it out.
And is that it? With the
That'll be it.
Beethoven.
Okay.
That'll
be it. Yeah. So we got.
So yeah, what was your recap of everyone in this band?
Sorry.
So what was that? Was a lot of people.
There was a lot.
I'm just trying to recap myself and who was in it.
So Freddie Mercury's the lead singer, and then we have a backing singers of just phenomenal 90s singers to go along with it. James Stacey, Mike Patton, Maynard, James Keenan, etc., etc. Then we had three guitarists, Hendrix, Morello, and Cantrell, with Slash on standby. Then we had we had Thingamajig from Tool on bass. And then we had Matt Cameron on drums. And then we had an orchestra in the background with Beethoven arranging the music for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a diverse mix, to say the least. But with that, this does bring us to a close of this podcast. So unless there are any questions that you have for us or anything that you'd like to promote.
I will, yeah. So just one last, yeah. So the Christmas song I released today. So that's on YouTube at the moment. That'll be on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, basically anywhere else you can find for a streaming service. That'll be there, raring to go on the Thursday. The 14th, I think. Yeah, 14th December onwards.
Comes out then, actually.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so there won't be any more gigs this year, but I think the next gig I have will be in January, and I think that's Wellingborough. I think is the next one for me.
Wicked.
But yeah, so but the main thing at the moment is that Christmas song, which will be part, and I'm in the middle of writing an actual debut album, which will be released at some point later in the year. I'm decided that Christmas song ends up on the album or not. It could be not. So there we go.
Awesome. Well, on that note, this does bring us to a close. So please go follow the Uncensored Podcast and Vulgarithm on all the social medias. Go listen to that new Christmas song, which should be linked right below on various streaming platforms. Do the subscribes and the likes and all that because it helps. It really does to get us out there. And we hope you watch the next one. Goodbye.